until the day you graduate, which I'm not convinced will ever happen, so it is permanent!
Good afternoon, miss.
You.
Hey, you know what? I bet every last one of you bitch is getting suspended from school.
Have you ever been in a store like this? See, we don't put price tags on our merchandise. So if you have to ask, then obviously you can't afford it.
The lights went out and I couldn't find a switch. So I was falling in the dark. That's why I called you here.
Mary's been so helpful. I just wanted you to know that. Maybe you can give him a medal or something.
Y'all ready for some mess? What happens when Hollywood chews up black talent and spits them out faster than a bad weave? Let me tell you about 10 actors who went from who's that to wait, they used to be famous? Okay, let me tell y'all about Phil Lewis.
I'll only tell you if you promise not to get angry.
I promise.
Zach lost her at school.
The man who went from being Mr. Mosby to Mr. Who Dat. Listen up, this man was television royalty. 1 minute he's making Nerdy Cute on A Different World.
His lifestyle is beside the point.
Well, perhaps not.
Sit down, boy.
Next minute, he's the most unbothered hotel manager in Disney history on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Mr. Mosby wasn't just a character, he was a whole mood.
The ship is still not going boom boom. That means I'm not getting my clink clink, and Daddy's waiting for me. Tick tock. Soon I'm gonna start to go wham wham.
Them perfectly pressed suits, that side eye that could stop a child mid-chaos, iconic, period. But honey, Hollywood's got more twists than a pack of press and curl. And Lewis's story, it's a roller coaster. In 2002, Life said, "Oh, you thought?" Faster than you can say plot twist, Lewis went from TV's favorite manager to facing the most life-challenging legal drama, a car accident that changed everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Convicted of vehicular manslaughter, Lewis got sentenced to prison. And just like that, snap, Hollywood ghosted him quicker than a bad Tinder date. One moment you're making Disney kids laugh, next moment you're fighting for your entire life and career. After serving his time, coming back to Hollywood, harder than finding a good man on a dating app. The same brother who once made us laugh every single week suddenly became a cautionary tale about how one moment can completely reshape your entire universe. From Mr. Mosby to Mr. What Happened, Lewis's journey is the kind of story that makes you go, damn, life don't play. Hollywood might smile in your face, but it will drag you the moment you slip up. After serving his time, Lewis didn't just fade away. Nah, he redirected. This man became a television director, working on shows like True Jackson VP and other Nickelodeon productions. From in front of the camera to behind it, Lewis said, "My story ain't over. It's just getting started."
I love directing and I love working with kids. It's great, and young adults. Obviously working on Jessie with Debbie Ryan is so much fun. And then I did Kicking It with Leo and the gang over there. It's been, that's a lot of fun. One of my favorites was Good Luck Charlie, which was great. And in fact, I just got a call from Bradley Stephen Perry, who has another show. So hopefully I'll get over there to direct that. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself and having a great time.
From Mr. Mosby to a director creating opportunities for other actors, Lewis showed Hollywood that one mistake don't define your entire narrative. Sometimes the comeback is bigger than the setback.
How could you kiss me tonight after you kissed some other guy last night?
It wasn't easy. It made me feel kind of false.
Mari Morrow, Miss I'm Too Fine for just one movie herself.
Orlando Casey was my first boyfriend.
So you stopped calling him after the restraining order?
Yes. No, before. Look, Orlando just couldn't accept the fact that I wasn't there for him when he went away.
Remember her in House Party 4 and How to Be a Player?
Because I had only seen Bill on MTV Jams, I really didn't know what kind of actor he was.
She was serving looks and attitude. But here's the tea. Hollywood can be ruthless. Whispers around the Players Club suggested she wasn't exactly vibing with Bernie Mac and Ice Cube. Creative differences? More like creative shade. By the early 2000s, Her roles dried up faster than wash and go hair in the Sahara Desert.
You're the perfect woman to take my virginity.
Let me tell you about Patrick Dancy. And I mean T-E-A with a capital T. This brother was fine as hell.
Then how could you hurt me like this? Just so you could look good in front of your friends?
Can we wipe the slate clean? Start over?
No way.
But Hollywood did him dirty. You know how some actors got that look that could make you forget your own name? Dancy was that dude.
You look great, Ted.
She does, doesn't she?
But let me break it down. Fine don't mean nothing in Hollywood if you ain't got connections. And connections, they were rarer for black actors than a good man on dating apps. Dancy was out here looking for a whole snack. But casting directors were on that diet where they don't want nothing substantial. By early 2000s, this man's acting roles were more scarce than affordable rent in Los Angeles. And not because he couldn't act, please. Hollywood just loves playing games with black talent like we are some disposable entertainment. 1 minute you're the diverse choice, next minute you're background noise.
Number one, I would tell him I love him so much. I really would. Most importantly, and it almost makes me emotional to think about it, is you're enough. Yeah. You are enough. There's nothing else you need. Batteries are included. You got here, you arrived with everything you need. Regardless of what the world tells you, you have everything you need.
Let me tell you about Victoria Dillard.
Well, because we need more lawyers like we need more big white Moby Dicks. Ouch.
A dancer so fierce, she could make Gravity look like it was taking choreography lessons. This woman wasn't just an actress.
So does this work with other women?
Hit and miss.
So what should I do now?
Start by telling me your name.
And how should I finish?
She was a movement, literally. Trained in dance so precise, she could probably pirouette through life's obstacles like they were backup dancers. From Coming to America to Deep Cover.
See, we don't put price tags on our merchandise. So if you have to ask, then obviously you can't afford it.
Dillard was serving talent on a silver platter. But life loves a plot twist more than reality TV loves drama. Enter Parkinson's disease. That uninvited guest that crashes your life's party and tries to mess up your whole vibe.
My name is Victoria Dillard, and I was diagnosed at the age of 38. It was shortly after my second child was born.
But Victoria, she wasn't about to let no medical diagnosis write her final script. When Parkinson's tried to dim her light, this queen turned it into a spotlight. Instead of hiding, she became an advocate.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Speaking out about living with the disease. Hollywood might have tried to put her in a box, but Dillard was busy breaking boxes. Her journey from dancer to Parkinson's warrior?
Having Parkinson's and being a professional dancer, I think delayed a lot of the symptoms that people often have to deal with very early on. So I haven't had the impact of falling or losing my balance. I know that other Parkinson patients have. And also, I was always mindful about flexibility. And I think that that has curbed the Parkinson's in some way.
It's not just a story. It's a whole testimony. The same grace she brought to the dance floor, she brought to her health journey. When life tries to give her lemons, she made a whole lemonade factory. Typecast, overlooked, diagnosed. Victoria Dillard said, "Not today, Satan." She transformed her challenges into a platform, showing the world that Black women are unstoppable, no matter what life throws their way.
It's the only way that I'll stay alive long enough to find a cure for myself.
There is no cure.
Nabushe Wright.
She's a hematologist. She's studying, she's in research. When we first find her, she's on her feet standing. 2 seconds later, she gets bitten by old evil Quinn. And then she is in the midst of turning into a vampire herself. But because of her research, she has an inclination that she could probably cure herself.
Remember her in Blade?
You know how to use one of these?
Nope. But I damn sure learned quick.
That intense stare. that could cut through vampires and Hollywood's nonsense. But instead of chasing Hollywood's fickle fame, Sis said, "Nah, I'm good," and became a healthcare professional. While everyone else was fighting for scraps, Nebuchadnezzar was out here saving lives. Talk about a career pivot. Her net worth might not scream millionaire, but her life choices, priceless.
What's up? It's your boy Tyrone Burton. We out here at the Hollywood Walk of Fame with Hot Sauce the rapper with no curse words.
Yeah, it is.
When I was about 11 years old, I transferred out of the street life. Close to 11, I transferred out of the street life into the entertainment life. Went from the hood to Hollywood eventually. But in the beginning stages, it was dark. In the beginning of my street life, of course, was dark. And then the Lord, I would say, saved me through entertainment. He gave me something to do.
Tyrone Burton, that cute kid everybody knew.
I thought y'all forgot my birthday.
How could we forget when you circled the calendar and said TK's birthday?
But couldn't quite place. Child stardom is a trap, y'all. One minute you're adorable, next minute Hollywood doesn't know what to do with you. Transitioning from child actor to adult roles? Harder than trying to do a twist out in Humidity. Burton became another statistic in Hollywood's long list of whatever happened to.
I want to really help people with our church and with our ministry. In the church, people that come to our church and worldwide.
Just enjoy it. Do what you love to do. Whether if you like acting, like Kylie said, it ain't about the money. Because you love it. You enjoy it. You got the Michael Jordans, he loved it. You got Michael Jackson, he loved it.
Okay, let me tell you about Paulette Braxton. The actress who was everywhere in the early 2000s, and then just like that, she vanished like your good edges after a bad salon visit. This woman was a staple on black television. The Parkers, she was in that.
But take a good look, because it's the last time you'll ever see it.
Playing alongside Monique and Jenna Von Oy, Braxton wasn't just in the background. She was serving character roles.
Fiance?
Damn, you're really fine.
That made you stop and pay attention.
Fine. I'll leave so you can feed sugar cubes to your Clydesdale.
But wait, there's more. When the Parkers wrapped up, she wasn't playing. She showed up in CSI Miami, proving she could hang with the drama procedural crowd. One minute you're in a comedy, next minute you're in a crime show.
Eric's been so helpful. I just wanted you to know that. Maybe you can give him a medal or something.
That's called range, honey. But Hollywood loves to play games more than a cat with a ball of yarn. Black actresses, they get typecast faster than you can say one-dimensional character.
That's right. Bernard and Anthony were arrested for attempting to rob a convenience store the same night Avery was arrested.
Braxton went from being a consistent face on television to becoming one of those actors you see and go, ain't that person from... Her disappearance wasn't about lack of talent. Nah, this was about an industry that loves to put black actresses in the supporting box and keep them there. Braxton had the skills, the look, the everything. But Hollywood, sometimes it's more closed off than your auntie's china cabinet on Thanksgiving. By the late 2000s, her on-screen appearances became more sporadic than good customer service. But that doesn't mean she wasn't working. Sometimes Hollywood's exit is just another entrance somewhere else.
I need your help. Gosh.
How the hell did you get in here? Well, don't mind us. We're just having
D'Artagnan Edmonds, honey. This brother was the definition of potential energy that never got converted. You know how some actors got mad talent, but Hollywood acts like they can't see? That was Edmonds in a nutshell.
Hey, look, man, won't you go ahead and fix your car, man? You messing up the ozone layer.
His appearance was more sporadic than good customer service. One minute he's in a film.
Listen now, hold up for a second. You're supposed to be a master player. You forgot the rules. Players don't feel.
Next minute, poof. Gone like stimulus checks after tax season. And it wasn't because he couldn't act. Nah, this was about an industry playing a game more rigged than a carnival shooting booth. Edmonds represented an entire generation of actors who were told, you're almost there. But almost don't pay rent, baby. Hollywood loves to dangle that carrot of opportunity. But for black actors, that carrot might as well be made of plastic. Brooklyn Adina Harris. Now listen,
Because that's the difference between owning your life and being afraid.
You mean like a guy's got a gun to your head?
This wasn't just an actress. This was a performer. The kind of artist that makes other performers look like they're playing pretend. Stage was her kingdom. Film, more like a small, uninteresting province she occasionally visited.
Please, like hell, he will.
Kelly, could you help out in our street, please?
Be right there.
Harris had talent that could make Broadway weep, but Hollywood, they looked at her like she was speaking a foreign language. Theatrical depth, nuanced performance, child, they wanted pretty and predictable. Her disappearance from mainstream media wasn't a failure, it was a strategic retreat. While Hollywood was busy typecasting and minimizing, Harris was probably out there creating art that was too sophisticated for their small screens.
It's the 29th day, the last day I have to come back. So, am I still okay for next term?
I had first worked for Warner Brothers when I was 10 years old in Roots: The Next Generation. When I had turned 18 years old, my birth name, my child actor name was Marcus Wyatt, and I was estranged from my father. I wanted to reinvent myself as an adult actor, so I changed my name to Marcus Chong. I had done Broadway, I won the Theater World Award. I had a big film out called Panthro. I was the lead in. I was on the posters and billboard. You know, my name was everywhere at the time. I was one of the hot tickets in town.
Marcus Chong, Tank from The Matrix.
Very exciting time. We got a lot to do.
One minute he's in a groundbreaking sci-fi film, next minute, Ghost.
Why didn't I do the Matrix sequels? That's easy. When we were prepping for the film, I had to pay for all my expenses. You know, I wasn't, taking on any other projects, because I didn't want to, move on to something else when I gave my word, my handshake on such a deal. And so when it came time for me to go to Sydney, Australia, I had to pay for my own visa to travel. I had to, basically what they did was Warner Brothers cashed in my first class plane ticket, cashed in my 5-star hotel accommodation, and put me into a little apartment by myself in the middle of downtown Sydney. And I was paying myself my per diem to survive the first 3 months that I was in Sydney. And so when it came time for me to do my first day of shoot, there was no one to pick me up. There was no ride. There was no van. There was no shuttle. There was no car. Nothing like that. I had to walk Fox by myself. When I got there, there was no name for me. My name was not at the security guard booth, so the security guards would not let me in. I had to call the production office. A PA came down to give me permission to come in to shoot my own film. And it was like that the whole shoot. I had to walk to work every day to film and then walk home dark at night in a foreign country. Very unprofessional. They had a running gag on the set when we were shooting the film, which is some different person every day, from a production assistant to even John Gator, who did the special effects, would come up to me and say, "Hey, doesn't your character die in the movie?" Which I thought was very bizarre. My response to them was, haven't you read the script? I'm not going to get into drugs that was going on during the production that people were doing that I would, stay far clear from. I'm not going to say any name. They know who they are. I'm not going to get into the drugs that was going on during the production that people were doing that I would, stay far clear from. I'm not going to say any names. They know who they are. And so when it came time to finish shooting, I had to relocate myself back to Hollywood. No relocation fees. There would be no unemployment. I mean, The Matrix was a complete renegade production. And so when you're hired out of Hollywood by Warner Brothers Studio and you're a Screen Actors Guild member, there's a codified basic agreement with SAG and the federal government and Warner Brothers where they have to give you a SAG contract in order to get your royalty. I have never gotten a royalty yet because Warner Brothers never honored that codified basic agreement. They never gave me a SAG contract. Whereas actors from Australia, the character who played Dozer, Switch, APOC, they all get royalties. And so there was some kind of discrimination going on. I just considered that they were pimping the game, and they pimped the game on that one, to pay for whatever entertainment and fun that they wanted to have during that production at my expense. Angela Pritchard, the assistant to the executive producer, Barry Osborne, she called me to the Warner Brothers lot. I went over there. This is about 2 weeks before the film would premiere. And they had a press junket. I didn't know that they had a press junket there, but when the producers and Larry and Andy Wachowski, they found out that I was there, even though I was invited by Angela Pritchard, they were furious. And they had 5 or 6 security guards come down with, earplugs in, the whole gamut, armed, and they physically removed me from that lot and told me if I ever came to that lot again that they would have me arrested. When the film came out at the premiere, they wouldn't even let me go into the theater to see the premiere of my own film. And so I was like, whatever. I drove myself to the premiere. I was told I couldn't go into the premiere. They did everything they could to keep me out. And so the movie became the #1 film in the world. It was a phenomenon. Bunch of money. It was a big hit and went through the roof. And so Warner Brothers and Larry and Andy Wachowski wanted to bring my character Tank the Operator back to the sequel. Joey Pantoliano, who played Cypher, he got $1 million to do the one film, The Matrix. So my entertainment attorney said that they were going to get me at least $1 million, you know, because I'm doing 3 films. And so Larry and Andy Wachowski, instead of writing me a $3 million role or a $1 million role for Reload and Revolution, they wrote, you know, basically a $25,000 role for each film. I saw the film, and they replaced Tank the Operator with a character that they wrote in called Link, and that was a really minuscule role. Nothing to it. There was nothing there. It was just basically blah. And so they wouldn't let anyone read the scripts until they had signed the contract prior. So, you know, what I saw in those 2 films, though, was not good. I would never have signed on film, just in that in itself. So on my birthday, July 8th, 2000, I was with Larry and Andy Wachowski at the Eon Productions, and I told Larry, you know, you're going to have to give me $1 million for these sequels. And he told me straight out, looked me in my eye and said, we're not giving you $1 million. And I said, well, then I'm not going to do these films. And they were pissed and furious. And Larry Wachowski looked at me and he said, if you don't do these sequels, we'll kill you.
Rumors flew about his departure from the sequels faster than conspiracy theories spread on Black Twitter. Creative differences? Contract drama? All we know is one day he was Neo's crew, the next day, poof. Hollywood can be cold, honey.
Let me see that rifle, son.
No, this is my private property. According to California law, we got a constitutional right to bear arms.
This ain't just about individual actors. This is about an industry that loves black talent but hates black power. An industry that'll use you up and throw you away quicker than last season's trends. These actors, they didn't fail. They survived. They pivoted. They said, if Hollywood won't make space for me, I'll make my own space. Some found peace. Some found new paths. Some just said, boy, bye to the whole Hollywood game. Their combined net worth might not buy a Hollywood mansion, but their stories, priceless. They walked so today's black actors could run.